Process means, like, this is not any SAP related term or business related term. This is general term which we also use on our daily lives. Process means if we got to do any task, we have to follow sequence of steps to complete the task. If you have to book a ticket for flight, you will have a process. You want to travel somewhere for vacation, you will have a process. You start your business of a jewelry business, you will have a process. You will go through steps and then you will try to launch a business in the market. To do anything, we have to follow a sequence of steps, which is called as a process. Same way in business as well, we have to do some task. To complete the task, we have to follow process, which is called as business process. Like for purchase department, we do some work. Sales department, we got to do some work. Accounting, we do some work. Purchase department, we have a purchasing team for our company which tries to buy material for our business. So that procurement team which is trying to buy the material for us, that team has to follow business process which is defined by your company. And this standard business process of procurement is called as purchase to pay. Procure to pay or P2P. Sales department has to do some sales activities for your business. But whenever in your sales team is trying to do any sales, that guy has to follow the sequence of steps, which is called as business process of sales, which is called as order to cash or O to C. And the last one, accounting, means we got to manage some money related matters. To manage some money related stuff, we got to follow this process, which is called as record to report or R2R. These are the three standard business processes for any company, any size. Your company is using SAP, not using SAP. Your company is using Oracle, JD Edwards, Bond, Viewpoint, Famous, Dynamics, PeopleSoft, or any other ERP. Process would remain same, but the platform of the tool will change. So this process is the process for these departments. Your company may use any ERP software, but the processes would remain same. Purchase to pay, order to cash, and record to report. We need to know about at least these three resources, because at least these three business processes, because we are going to work in this FICO team. But this FICO core team will always coordinate with purchasing and sales team as well. For that reason, we need to understand these three business processes so that our coordination becomes easy with other teams as well. We will be talking about in detail about these three business processes, and we'll be doing some practical things as well. But for now, briefly, let's talk about purchase to pay process, just one for the day. Purchase. My question for you is it the first time you're hearing this term, or you already knew something about purchase to pay already?
We are familiar with it.
You already know something about this?
Yeah, purchase to pay.
And you already know details of this process, or briefly only?
Brief would be good.
Okay, let's talk about purchase to pay quickly. Let's say this is a company called IKEA. IKEA is doing some manufacturing of products. This company would make products related to furniture and blah, blah, blah. So to make this furniture and stuff, they will have a plant. Obviously, they will have multiple plants, but let's say they have a plant in Toronto. And to manage the plant, we have plant manager delivery. So the scenario is there is this company called IKEA which is using SAP and has this plant in Toronto. And to manage the plant, we have called Dilip, our plant manager. So our plant manager has to manage the entire plant, labor, and production as well. Let's say in this plant, we manufacture only one item which is called as office chair. Just one. And for next week, our order is that we have to make 1,000 office shares. That means we have to supply 1,000 office shares by next week. So we have to manufacture. We have to produce as soon as possible. And let's say to manufacture these 1,000 office shares, we need one raw material called as RM00. We're taking hypothetical example, which is in this company we want to manufacture 1,000 office shares, and to manufacture these, we need one raw material called as RM00 material. So now Dilip plant manager has to buy this RM00 material in 1,000 quantity. But he cannot buy because he's not in procurement team, he's in plant, which is to take care of production part. But RM00, Dilip needs RM00. Plant manager would need RM00. So he will go to purchasing department where he will find one procurement associate, Asha. And then the plant manager would say to the associate that I would need 1,000 RM00. Can you please arrange it for me? So then the procurement associate, Asha, will say, obviously, I'll try to help you out, but can you give me your requirement of how much you need, what you need, when you need, in the form, in the document, so that I can keep a record as well. And plant manager will say, yes, I will give him a requirement in the document, and he would create the document. This document is called as
purchase order,
purchase requisition, PR. So purchase requisition is the document which is created by the person in your company who needs or who requires any material, like plant manager needs RM00. So plant manager now got to create this purchase requisition in which he will put the details like what he needs, when he needs, where and how much he needs. Like he needs RM00. In 3 days, he wants to have the delivery. Where, because IKEA may have multiple plants at different locations, he needs this in Toronto plant. And how much of 1,000? So with this details, he would create purchase requisition document, and this document then comes to procurement team, to our associate Asha. And then our procurement associate will open this purchase requisition, which is also called a PR document. Then she will find, okay, what, when, how much you need. So we are assuming that when Asha checks out this detail, she knows who is the supplier. Or if Asha does not know, system SAP will obviously would know who is the supplier. So for that supplier, we got to create, or we have to reach out to the supplier. Let's say our supplier is RM00. And there's this company called as Vendor RM00 Incorporations. This company always supplies RM00 material to us. So then Asha has to call this company supplier to, and she has to give this order. But then the supplier will say, you are giving your order verbally on phone, which is fine, no problem, but it would be better if you give your order in the document so that we can keep a record as well. Asha will say, obviously, yes, why not? So she creates a document, and then this document is called as purchase order of PO. In which, when she's writing this PO, she'll put the same details what she wants to buy, what she wants to buy, when she wants to have the delivery, where. So supplier should have some clarity on where they have to supply, means Toronto plant warehouse, and how much. And then she puts the price, because system would tell the price automatically, and then this PO will be sent out to the supplier.
Requisition is internally between the purchase department, and purchase order is something you send externally to the vendor.
Perfect. Purchase requisition is a document which runs internally inside the company, and purchase order, which is the document which goes outside to the supplier. Very good. Okay. Then your vendor would check, the vendor will have this purchase order, and he opens purchase order and sees, okay, what the need. And he gets the idea that, okay, you need RM00 1000 quantity. So before he puts any commitment to you, he will have to check this inventory. So he has to check the status of his inventory RM00, that do they have enough to supply or not. So the supplier has to check the inventory, and hypothetically, let's say they have enough to supply. That means they will do order confirmation to us. They will do confirmation of their order that yes, we have is enough and we'll be able to supply for the retail, no problem. And then from supplier side, another process which is called is, because they are the seller, they are the supplier, another order to cash process should start. Which one? Sales process. But we are not discussing sales on sales. I'll briefly cover this. So say, let's say the supplier has to do the packaging of the material RM00. So they will have boxes. These boxes are called as lots. So in each box, they will put, say, 50 of RM00, 100 RM00, 200 RM00, 500 RM00 as per the requirement which we give. That means the boxes will be created, or the lot size will be based on the customer's requirement. So let's say customer means you say that please, when you supply RM00, please make a lot size of 100. That means if you need how much? 1000, they will supply you 10 lots. 10 lots of 100 each makes 1000. Perfect. So this, with considering your preference of lot, they will do the packaging and they upload the boxes in the truck. And there will be one driver. To the driver, they give something which is called as packing slip. Packing slip is nothing but it's called as delivery details. Driver will be given one document. This document is called as packing slip. In this packing slip, they will have details of delivery, because even driver should know what is delivering, where he has to deliver. So the packaging will be uploaded in the truck, and to the driver, we have to provide packing slip, which is going to have the details of delivery. And then the driver would drive the truck to the warehouse of plant. Perfect. Yes, I get Toronto plant specifically, because in this plant they need it. But in this warehouse, there will be one receiver. His job is to do goods receivables or to do GR. That means Mr. Receiver has to receive the goods, but when he's receiving, he has to verify that what we want, I should receive the same thing, not something we wanted something else and you're delivering something else and I will receive whatever comes in. No, right? So the receiver has to receive the job, the goods first, but when he's receiving, he has to physically verify and make sure that what we wanted, he receives. And when he's receiving, he wants to make sure nothing is damaged. Or if any damages during receiving, if they have, damages need to be reported to the supplier so that, accordingly billing can be, or invoicing can be generated. So goods receiver has to receive the goods, but when he's receiving, he has to verify everything. No damages, so damages reporting for the damages should be done, and counting goods verification should be done. But for now, let's assume that he verifies the good and everything is okay. And he receives the goods. And then he confirms to the suppliers that yes, we have received and everything is okay. Please send your invoice. We are ready to now do the payment. Now the supplier will generate this invoice, and this invoice will be sent to the accounts payable department of IKEA. Because accounts payable means payment related department, procurement will be done by purchase department. When the accounts payable has to pay money, invoice will be given to accounts payable department. Even sometimes your supplier, when they give invoice to procurement team has to forward this invoice to accounts payable department, because this is the department which will be doing the payment. And then when they receive this invoice, as per the payment terms, when this invoice gets due, payment will be made, which is called as payment posting. And once the payment is done, procurement to pay, purchase to pay process will be completed. This is in very, very brief discussed without any different scenario. Scenarios means we don't have any supplier. This is the new material for which we don't have any confirmed supplier. So if you don't have any supplier, we have to go through this quotation process, RFQ. We have to invite quotations from suppliers and things like that. Another scenario is when we receive, we had an oversupply. We wanted 1,000, they supplied 1,300. Or short supply, we wanted 1,000, they supplied 700. Or when we received damaged material, half of the goods are damaged. Then, or we wanted something else, they supplied something. There can be multiple scenarios of purchase to pay process. But for now, what we have discussed is we discussed very, very in brief, very standard process. Everything is done practically in SAP as well. Briefly, this is MM process, SAP MM. This is not SAP FICO, but this is SAP MM. But when we are going to cover basics of MM, I'll be showing you all of these as well practically. So that brief understanding of MM also you have. Right?
MM is material management.
Materials management. Right.
Okay.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay.